Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. I'm feeling very blue today, except for the fact that I'm wearing yellow.
I'm wearing blue.
We're feeling very blue, dabu dee dabu, Big Brother today, I guess. I don't
Big
know.
brother. Hmm.
What's that? I don't know what that is. Anyway. Welcome to the Cut TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay. So I normally have water. I don't know where my water is, but I'm currently drinking fruit punch out of my
Hmm.
cup mug. Cup mug.
Period.
I can't do the whole thing because there is liquid in
I'll
here,
do
but
cut mud.
cup mug. Cup mug. Cup mug. Yes. Get your cup merch. Link in the description below. Because these mugs are cute.
Oh. And you can get all your cup merch there
All
too
of it.
at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Mm-hmm. And hello, and hello, and hello. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea you know what to do, hit me up. And baby, is the tea piping hot in this Big Brother house. So I know you
One.
got some tea. I know you got some tea. So why is nobody hitting me up? Why is my DMs empty? Hit me up. I'm for sure serious right now. Hit me up. I need all the tea. I'm drinking A&W root beer again because
Ooh.
fancy, delicious. I love it. Drinking it. So, yep, that's what we got.
Loves it.
So, we are talking about Big Brother
This
episode 2, live
this
feeds and all.
this Big Brother.
They are,
We we have been asking for this for years.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have been asking for a good split house since BBOTT, and
Whew.
we're getting it. And I'm so happy.
And we getting it so fast. This is the fastest a house has split in forever.
Could
Like,
you imagine if we didn't get week one feeds?
uh,
In this house, we'd be like,
in this
what the
house,
fuck is going on?
we will be so confused. We will be so confused on what is going on and how did this get to this. I mean, we already talked about the three fields of it all because I mean,
Guess what? I'm putting it up
me
again. Three fields.
too. I was about to do it too. Like the
Three
three
fields.
fields of it all.
Three
The
fields.
three fields of it all. And when I tell you, I have not been disappointed by the three fields of it all at all. At all. It's been a masterclass watching three fields navigate through this house. I promise you, if you ever want to go on any show, you should be taking notes. Watch the live feeds and take notes. And how Sari is doing this. She has walked into this house as the biggest target in this house because everybody knew who she was. Even if they didn't know, it was like they found out really quickly how legendary Miss Refields is, and everybody's talking about it. Like everybody was like, "Oh, she's a Greek Survivor player. She's legendary. She's been on several seasons of Survivor, and she's this. Like everybody knew, and
Correct.
so and all of that is true. All of that is true. She is all of that, and everything else that you might have forgot, she's that too. Because they did not, what all of these kids apparently did not see is the masterclass that we saw with Three Fields on Traders.
It doesn't seem like anybody watched the Traders.
Nobody watched Traders, and that is great for Sari because if they watched Traders, she would definitely be gone out of this door
She would
as
have been
soon as
back north this
possible,
week.
for
She would
sure.
have been back north
Because
this week, 100%.
100%, because Traders showed just how good Sari is in getting people to trust her, getting people to tell her things, working around the system. She knows how to work around a game and navigate herself. She put on a pure masterclass in Traders. So I'm thankful and grateful that none of these people watch Traders because all they know now is, oh, Cerise's a legendary Survivor player, but she's never won. She can never finish out. She can never close the deal. And Cerise Field showed everybody in Traders that and snake in the grass, then not only can she make it to the end, but she can close the deal. And so I'm just happy they haven't watched it. Me personally, I don't need them to ever know that. I don't need them to ever know that. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, great segue. We start the episode. It's Suri.
hmm
And we very quickly find out, which we kind of thought was the case. We quickly find out, yeah, Jared and Suri knew they were going in together.
yes.
So seemingly they asked Suri and she said, "Can I bring my son?" Is probably what happened.
That could have
I'm not
been
mad
it.
about it because I really enjoy Jared. I
Me
really
too.
enjoy Jared. And we see the moment that we saw at the end of the premiere episode. Izzy knows exactly who they both are,
Yep.
and immediately, without even recognizing, oh, Bowie's just like 2 feet away,
Right.
is like, "Your 3-field son," and he's just like, "Shut the fuck up and get over here."
Right.
Or what are you doing? But it seems like, and I'll say this from feeds as well, it seems like Izzy is 100% genuine about protecting both Jared and Suri. I honestly think for the long term.
Yeah. I think she's definitely one of those people. She's willing to protect them. And I think for Sari and Jared, it's best to keep her on their side until they get an opportunity to quietly get her out the door.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean she has she has to feel like they're fighting for her from the moment she gets on the block until the time she leaves. She needs to feel like they're fighting for her to stay. And even if they're like,
Yeah.
y'all can vote for her, we won't vote for her, but she's gonna go.
Yeah.
They look like they're fighting for her to stay. So when she does leave, she doesn't leave in weeks with those few days in between telling everybody. Like they can't be the reason she leaves. They can't be the reason she leaves. She has to leave very quietly. I think she's smart enough to know that she can't go to the final 3 with them because she's good in 3rd place. And so they have to get her out before then.
She needs to go in a double.
Yeah.
A double would be the absolute perfect time. And I honestly think Suri already knows that.
Yeah.
So
And Jared probably knows that too. Like
Jared just doesn't seem nearly as adept at the game. So if Jared knows it, it's because Suri already told him.
I don't know. Jared seems very quiet right now, but I think that was only because he was on the block at the time. He didn't need to do anything. He didn't want to get Kristen. He didn't want to do too much where people start looking at him. I think he is one of those quiet players. He's not going to be loud. He's not going to be abrasive. He's not going to show his cards to everything. And he's going to let people assume, even inside and outside the house, that Suri is pulling the strings. Suri is telling him what to do. Suri is going to do everything because guess what? Jared also needs a shield in front of him. And if Suri has to be that shield, he's going to let Suri be that shield.
Like
And I
mother,
don't
like
want,
son.
I mean, and that's fair. All things is fair in the Big Brother house. I don't care if we're mother and son. When it comes down to getting the last votes, you have to do what you got to do to make sure people want to vote for you. So if it gets down to final 2 and it is Suri and Jared needs to make sure that the people he sends to jury is going to be people on his side.
I think Jared is smarter than that, honestly. And I think if there is a situation of Jared and Suri in the final 3 and Jared has the power, 100% he cuts his mother.
Wow.
And honestly,
and he wins.
And he wins, absolutely. I think
Suri will understand that.
I want Suri to win. I want Suri to win the season. Let me make
Of
that
course.
very clear. I'm like, I would be so emphatically positive if Suri won. But if Jared cut his mother, or vice versa, honestly, if Suri cut Jared, either way, I'm like, that's fierce as fuck. Like I would live.
I would live
for that
for it.
moment.
I would live, and I feel like whichever one of them does it first,
They
they
would both
win.
get it.
They
Yeah.
win. And they will
Yeah.
understand it. Like Sari would not be mad at Jared. Jared would not be mad at Sari. It'll be like
Yeah.
it's the game. And I will so respect it. Like if that
Yeah.
was me in that situation and my son or my mom did that to me, I would respect it because this is the game
Yeah.
we signed up for. You didn't
Yeah.
sign up for this game to protect me and play for
Yeah.
me to win. You play for you to win, and I have to play for me to win. So
I
yeah,
just happen to be your son, so I know that you're going to protect me as much as you physically can, but I also know you are a very adept social strategic player who is
exactly.
going to recognize when she needs to.
Zip. Cut.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's. I will be. I can't wait. I live for that moment when they decide that and when they figure that out, and if they decide to do that. Now, if they decide to go to the final two together, how they go get there is gonna be interesting because
The
I don't know if they
longer
can make.
the longer people don't know that they're mother and son, the better shot they have of making final two together.
Yeah, but that's why I say Izzy has to go quietly,
Double. It has to be a double.
and it can't be their fault on their doing.
Or it either has to be a double or one of them has to be up next to Izzy.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
one of them is up against Izzy, Izzy knows. Like if it's Izzy and Jared,
yeah.
she
Izzy
knows
knows
she ain't gonna have Cerie's vote.
she knows she ain't gonna have Three's vote, and ain't no way she can.
Yeah,
But I'm like, but do Izzy go around telling the house Izzy
maybe.
Jared that's
Probably.
scary. That she probably will do that, and I don't want that.
They need, and
That
I think, we'll talk about this more when we get to the live feed portion. I think Izzy is already kind of playing her game a little bit into the ground, so I
mhm.
don't honestly think it's going to take a whole lot for someone on the other side to target her and get her out of the game.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because I really like Izzy and I'm really entertained by the way she's playing. And I think
Yeah.
it's actually she has really good gameplay. It's
Mhm.
just like I think now has to like double or triple down on certain things because
Mm.
she might feel like she's not only protecting herself, but now she's also protecting Sari and Jared.
Right. Right. I
Which in
just
a
feel
sense
like
she kind of is.
she is. That's why
So
yeah, that's why I said what I said. They would have to make sure that Izzy goes quietly. Like even if like because of well, I guess live feeds a little bit. No, we'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait till we talk
okay.
about it in live feeds because I have thoughts. But
Just
you guys
remember that you have a thought. Just remember
yes, I'll remember my thought.
that.
I'll remember the thought. Yeah, I feel like um in the episode
Yeah.
we get Sari and Jared is talking to Izzy. They know she makes the promise that she'll keep them safe. Izzy,
When
that
Jared
conversation went in the storage room.
when Jared's like, "Hey ma," and Sari just goes,
And he was like, wait. She already know. She knew
"She already
right
knows we're
off the bat.
fine," and Sari just goes, "Oh, I died,"
Yeah.
and then she's literally just like, "My daughter." That's what it felt like.
It was
It's like Sari's never
insane.
had a daughter, but now she does.
Like
Like,
Izzy, come on in. It's like,
welcome to the
it-
Fields family. Woo!
and Izzy is living for that. Izzy wants to
Oh
be
yeah.
that so bad. She is living for being in the Fields family.
I would be too. Like, I'm gonna be
Hello.
really honest. As much as I want to be like, oh no, I would like treat Suri like a normal person in the house. I would be
Absolutely not.
fanboying every single moment I possibly could.
Absolutely not. I would
Like,
not be treating Suri like every person in the house. I will be treating Suri like I just want to be under you. I just want to watch you. I just want to learn from you. I just want
yeah,
to tell you how great you are. I will sit here as long as you let me sit here. And when you're ready for me to go, just let me know and I'll walk out that door.
literally.
It's that deep with me and Suri Fields.
Yeah.
I adore this woman
Oh, she's my favorite Survivor player of all time. Like, I
of all
absolutely.
times. Of all
Damn, I
times.
should have. I wish I had made it further in the audition process this season. I didn't get a call back. I didn't get a call back, but could you imagine if I was like so secretly I was like a fourth alternate? No, I didn't get a call. So this episode is honestly Sari and Jared, Sari, Jared, and Izzy, Sari and Felicia, which I'm gonna say, Sari being in this house is the absolute best thing that could have happened to Felicia's game.
Oh, for sure.
And I think Felicia is going to go deep in this game because Sari is there. And I'm thrilled about it.
Felicia, Bowie, Jane, Izzy, Hisam, and possibly Red. Possibly Red needs to be ecstatic that Three Fields is in this house because it just shifted the power where everybody's not looking at them as easy pick-off targets to possibly a force.
Yeah. Also, I think now with the addition of Sari, this is now officially the oldest cast. I think the average went up enough to where I believe this is now the oldest cast in Big Brother history.
I wouldn't be surprised
because it wasn't that far off. It was less than an entire year's difference on average between this and BB10.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure adding Sari into the mix.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is going to be a great season. Why? Because they cast older house guests. Thank you.
And they didn't just recruit all Instagram models and people who don't know nothing.
One Instagram person, really, on this cast?
Yeah, one Instagram person.
Blue.
And one TikToker, which is Red.
Oh, yeah.
But that's about it. And we have an amazing cast of people.
And we have an incredible cast of people. Like, even the non-Sari side of the house, I like a lot of them.
It's giving me, like, it's giving me OTT vibes.
I was about to say it's giving OTT vibes!
It's giving me OTT vibes, but, like, in the best possible way because OTT had a clear divide.
Yeah.
Like, clearly you are on this side of the house. Clearly you are on this side of the house, period.
Yeah.
This one is giving, there is a split house, but there's a few people that's right in the middle. That's right in the middle, and they could switch they could flip either side of this house on its head. So it's kind of, I'm loving it.
Lana, we're only 6 days in.
6 days in, and I've been attaching myself to these feeds as much as possible. I did not go to bed till 5 o'clock in the morning this morning because I was watching feeds, and I was like, wait a minute. You people go to bed because I need to go to bed. But you think I go to bed? I couldn't go to bed. I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning because Sari Fields decided not to go to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. And I was like, well, if you're not going to sleep, I'm not going to sleep.
I had a 7 a.m. flight out of New York yesterday, and I went to go turn on feeds like an hour into my flight. And the feeds were just null and void. I'm like, the one time I had this weekend to actually watch feeds. And I couldn't even watch feeds.
Yeah.
Because it was literally like as people were going to bed. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I put on Project
Runway. Question. What do we think about the We'll Be Right Back cinnamon roll bun?
I love it. Cinnamon roll eleganza. I love it.
I was like, I think they're trying to hypnotize us with this.
Absolutely, they are.
Watch more feeds. Watch more feeds.
No, we're not going to have them on all the time.
I was like,
cinnamon roll of death. Cinnamon roll of death from the scary verse.
Like, what is this? Cinnamon rolls.
I love it, honestly. I'm a big fan of the cinnamon roll of death.
And
that's all I'm referring to it as from now on.
Cinnamon roll of death. Got it. Period.
Cinnamon roll of death.
We will make a banner. We will make a banner of cinnamon roll of death.
Right. Yes. The other thing to talk about before we talk about the HOH is the formation of the Failings 5, which did not last long at all.
No.
So it happened. And then
Then it didn't. Like, nobody took it seriously but Kirsten.
And that was Kirsten, Riley, Luke, Matt,
Yes.
and Jared.
Yep.
I know things. Yay. Yeah, so unfortunately, friends and fans, I have not been as tied to live feeds as Lana has. I've just been traveling, but I'm home now. I'm very excited to get into feeds now. But I've missed a lot. So
I'll fill you in because
thank
I
you.
have no life and
I was like, you
will.
have the tea. So today, Lana, you need to give me the tea because I need it
I will
in my
give it
cup
to you.
mug that has fruit punch in it.
Period. I will give it to you.
So let's talk about the HOH.
Mhm.
Crash Course in Comics.
We've seen this before.
Oh yeah, we've seen this several times. I just have to say though, Big Brother, I'm mad at you because you clearly know the level of icon that Sari Fields is, and y'all better know that Sari has an iconic moment with
On
a
a
balance.
balance beam.
And y'all made her first Big Brother competition ever a balance beam. Now that's some shadiness. I kind of live for it though. And then throughout the whole fucking thing, we see like 3 seconds of her on a balance beam. I'm like, y'all could not have shown us Cerise. I don't care if she dropped out immediately. I want to see Cerise on a balance beam. Thank you.
Period. Like rude. Very rude. Like I know you got 17 people or 15, 14 people to go through. I get
Really
it.
14 people, but like.
But Sari, she should be getting special treatment. She needs more camera time.
Shit, I didn't have the button up.
She needs more camera time. That's just it. That's just it.
I should have
Period.
more camera time.
Yes,
Agreed.
she does because she is Sari Fields and she deserves all the camera time. But whatever. She didn't win the HOH anyway, so that's fine.
And let's all be honest, I love Cerise, but she wasn't going to win this one
She
either.
wasn't gonna win this one. She wasn't gonna win this one. We knew that.
So yeah, so it's a maze of balance beams connected together. You just have to get from point A to point B, but there are
Quickest.
differing levels of thickness to the beams.
I don't know
Now,
why anybody would just not go on the blue beam in the whole way. Like that's what I would have
well,
done.
that's what I was going to ask you, Lana. If you were to attempt this challenge, you would do just blue beam all the way?
Just blue beam all the way because less chance of falling off. I can stop and get past the thing. As we saw, the winner who won this thing did only the blue beam. All you gotta do is move quick. Because you're most likely not. I'm sure. Yeah, sure. The red is shorter, but it's tiny, and you fall. Yeah. The yellow is smaller, and you fall. The blue is thick. You can just 1 foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
And just go quickly as possible. You can maybe 10, 12 seconds, 16 maybe.
Literally, I think 20.
16 was with the winner.
Yeah, so Riley wins.
Yeah.
And she even goes in her confessional. She's like, I know that my strength here is going to be my speed and not my balance. So I'm going to focus on my speed, which honestly
makes sense.
Great strategy. I do think, and I do see Riley being a big comp threat on this season. And I think I said that preseason somewhere. I was like, I feel like she's going to be a big comp threat. And you know what? She won the first HOH. So
I mean, I'm going to hold off my comp beast label for a little while. You can't just win one comp and expect to be a comp.
I said
beast.
she could be.
Yeah, but see, she said she is.
And that's why I'm like, okay, darling, prove it to us.
Like, I said, okay, grand.
When you go up on the block next week, win the veto.
Win the veto. Let's see how much of a comp beast you really are.
Yeah. So Riley wins the HOH. We find out that this week, instead of the HOH putting up noms, because again, it's scrambled. Of the 4 people that are nominated currently because they lost the premiere night verse challenges, she will be taking 2 of them off the block.
Mhm.
which is all of her power as HOH. The
Yep.
veto is still going to happen the exact same way.
Yep.
And if the veto is used, she will then name a replacement nominee, which could still be the two people she took off the block in this scenario.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about that very, very shortly. I mean, there really isn't anything else to talk about.
No,
from
because
the
people are like just trying to get to know each other. They're moving in and figuring things out. Kirsten is going around the house talking way too much to everybody. And she, like we said, she was in the room and playing the Five Alliance, which got Jared not to really trust that. And he went and told Sri. And
Jared told Sri. Sri told Felicia. Felicia went to Riley and said, "Here's a target."
Right. Which
like,
honestly can't be mad at none of them.
No.
Because that's what happens when you talk too much in the Big Brother house. And we have to know Kirsten, I think Kirsten is not a fan of the show. I think she was a recruit. I'm recruit.
Pretty sure she was.
And so I'm feeling she doesn't realize that, and I'm going to say this with all the most gingerly way I can.
Okay.
But in all my honesty, she did not know that Black women can't walk into this game and play the game like everybody else. That we have to finagle and move and be a little bit more discreet than everybody else, including Black men. Yeah. So we can't go in there and play the game the exact same way that we've seen others play this game.
Yeah.
So she didn't realize that because she went in like, I'm going to talk to everybody and be friendly and bubbly and make everybody know, and I'm going to go make plans. Not realizing that everything she does is 10 times going to be judged more than other people. Like, because we saw just this week on the live feeds and just this week in the game, other people are doing the exact same thing Kirsten is doing and not getting any crap about it. And we also realized this week, everything that Kirsten told everybody was accurate.
100% accurate.
Was facts. Did happen. Was true. And nobody wants to give her credit for it. Nobody wants to say, you know what, we might have misjudged you. None of that. It's still, we don't trust you. You're the target. You got to go. Yeah. So that's the only problem. Kirsten didn't realize we can't play this game like everybody else can play this game. Mimi, on the other hand, is playing this game beautifully for what Black women can do in a game where we don't have a majority of people like the cookout. Like when we had 6 of us in the house at one time, we can move and maneuver a little bit different. Yeah. We can maneuver a little bit different because we got people who got our back and we all working for the same common goal.
Yeah.
But when we don't all have that work and that same common goal happening, and you have to do things on your own, you have to navigate a little bit different. You got to move in silence. You got to move and just be observant. You have to make them feel comfortable. Kirsten coming so hard out the gate did not make them feel comfortable. That put their antennas up like, a smart, intelligent Black woman.
Smart, intelligent, gorgeous, beautiful Black woman is saying a lot of words. I don't care what those words are. She needs to be targeted.
Right. And so
she could be talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for all it fucking matters. And they would still be like, nope, that's a target.
Now, am I saying Kirsten played this game perfectly? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I understand why she's the target or why she was the target so early on. Now, what I don't understand is why she still is the target and it hasn't shifted at all, because she has been making inroads to making it better. And people have learned that what she said was true and she wasn't being messy just to be messy, but we don't care anymore. They no longer care that she was right. You're like, it is what it is. It's too far gone for her.
I think the difficulty, and we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to live feed stuff. I think the difficulty, honestly, is the house split so quickly. Because I think if there wasn't this severe of a house split, I think something maybe could have happened with the veto, and maybe Kirsten will be making it to week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the alternative that was feared in the case of Kirsten coming down with the veto, for me, would have been a lot worse. So I wasn't trying to have any of that happen.
That was never the case. And I
know,
will tell you more. We'll tell you that no, that was not even a fear in the lot. Like that story never happened. That story was made up in Izzy's mind and Izzy's mind alone. We'll talk about it in live feeds.
We sure will. So, Riley, it's time for the un-nomination ceremony.
Nomination.
They didn't name it, but I'm calling it the un-nomination ceremony.
Yeah.
The removal ceremony.
The removal ceremony. I don't know.
Nominate.
Wait, we can't move to the nomination ceremony before we talk about the Corey of it all.
Oh boy.
Because the Corey of it all came back from the nether regions and everybody was a little shaky of what was Corey doing down in the nether regions. What else happened? What other happened in another world with him? Did he come back with some power? Did he come? I'm like, why would he come back with a power when he's still on the block? That doesn't make any sense.
And guess what? We have no clue.
I'm going to bet my millions of dollars that I do not have that man did not come back with anything, because you can't go to the nether regions being nominated and then they give you a secret power, because why is that fair to the other 3 people who didn't go to the nether regions who also ended up on the block to get no secret kind of power? That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
I feel like they also would have told us in the edit. That for me is like, I know I'm pretty confident he didn't get anything, because I feel like Big Brother would have told us.
Yeah.
Because they typically do that kind of thing. So I think it was just remove
it would have
for
been
an hour.
It would have been a huge disadvantage for everybody else for him to get a power. Like, what made him special because of his challenge that he gets something, but the other nominees don't? That would have been very unfair.
I think honestly, it was just for him to be the messenger of the message from the nether region.
The nether, right?
Which I am convinced is a battle back scenario. I'm convinced it is a pre-jury battle back.
I would not be surprised. I'm it's giving me camp comeback vibes. It really is. It's giving me camp comeback.
Giving me the iconic comeback from BB16. Remember how close that comeback challenge was? Costa almost won.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm
given for so long, and now it's my time to receive. I love Jocasta, period. End of story.
Me too. I was like, with Jocasta, period. Representing for the Christian women out there who like, we gonna be unabashedly proud of our love for God. And she was speaking in tongues and everything. And I was like, girl, I love her. I love her. I love her. I was like, you go. Yes. But yeah,
nomination ceremony.
The unnomination ceremony. But Corey was putting in the work. Corey waited. I mean, he literally waited all day to talk to Riley. Because I think she was still trying to at one point keep him on the block, but she was considering keeping him on the block. So she kind of avoided him throughout the day. She found excuses for talking to everybody before him. They played charades in between time, and she was like, "Oh, well, we can't talk now because the house is playing charades." Like it's just like she was finding every excuse to avoid him. But then she finally talked to him, and his speech persuasion came out in full effect, and he offered her the sun, the moon, and the stars, and was like, I can win competitions. Do you think Felicia could win competitions and keep you safe? And I was like, ooh.
I mean, honestly,
I
kinda
mean,
he kinda ate a little
he
bit.
ate. He ate. He
Yeah.
ate. I'm like, see, this is the thing. As much as I am one of these people who I'm definitely rooting for everybody black, y'all know me, I ain't gonna change.
Yes, of
But I
course.
also root for anybody who has good gameplay and is taking the initiative to say, look, this game is important to me. And I came here to win. So what I'm going to do is I will push whatever I gotta push and whoever I gotta push to get to the point where I can stay longer. And that was a smart play to be like, if you take Miss Felicia off this block and she gonna give you what? She not winning no physical competition. And sure, there's mental competitions that she might can win, might, but we don't know because that puzzle that she had to do up in for the for the first, she couldn't even put that together. So are we putting you gonna put your trust and your life in this game in the hands of Miss Felicia or me? And then we get to the nomination ceremony,
And it
and
worked.
it worked. The
So
final two noms are Felicia and Kirsten, with
for now.
Kirsten as the target. Right now, as of right now, Felicia and Kirsten are the nominees, with Kirsten
But
as the target.
anything can happen with the power of veto.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know why
veto
I'm
will happen, and you will see that on Wednesday.
but it's already happened. So we're gonna talk about it.
But that's in the live feed spoilers, so we won't talk about it until live feed spoilers happen. And if you don't want to be spoiled by the live feed conversation that we're going to talk about in depth, because there's a lot to talk about. Bye bye. We thank you for joining us. We appreciate you sticking around. Get all of your cup merch at lanajcreations.etsy.com. Hit all the buttons to like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to the Cup TV. We would love, love, love to take you on this journey of Big Brother 25 with us. And or any audio listening platforms that you're listening to, hit all those buttons as well. Follow us on the Cup Pod at our Instagram, our TikTok, and our Twitter because we're funny bitches, as Logan
Several
likes to
funny
say.
moments already coming from this episode.
Period. So yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's dive in.
Period.
Do we want to just throw up the alliance chart now, or do we want to talk through
We
things?
throw through it up. We throw it up and we'll talk through it while it's up because
Great.
what I tell you,
Okay.
alliances
Oh,
were
God.
forming all over the place, baby.
So this is where we're at now. Hugest I'm going to actually take down our banner because it blocks theirs. Go follow Razor Skate on Twitter. They are one of the premier people doing alliance charts for us. They always do it for Big Brother and they always come through so perfectly. So thank you for that. So this is where our alliances sit right now. And as you can see, it's a split house. And I
Oh,
love it.
it's
Oh, I
insane.
love it. Ah!
So let's start with the family style of the
God.
alliance. Let's start over there.
The Russian nesting doll of alliances. Like,
It started with Jag and Riley,
yeah.
both feeling like they like each other. They had a lot in common. They just vibed well with one another, and so they established the final two very early on. They were like,
Yeah.
"We are going to rock this. We go ride this out, and it's gonna be us." And so Riley and Jack were like very close and they were like hitting it off. And when she won HOH, he was like, we're solidifying this. We're done. We're good. Now, after Riley and Jag had really formed and Jag kind of saw how Riley plays the game a little bit, he got a little bit concerned.
Yep.
A little bit concerned. He can see how emotional she is, how She promised everybody the world in the first day of HOH, her HOH reign. She was promising everybody everything. So he got a little bit concerned. So he went over and started talking to Blue. And Blue and him seemed to hit it off a little bit better, in my opinion, than him and Riley.
Yeah.
Because she was like more level headed. They both thought the same way and they both had the same kind of idea of how they wanted to play this game. And so Jag was like, okay. So he was like, I can pull Blue. And, I think Blue gets along with Riley pretty well. So they decided to form this 3 of Riley, Jag, and Blue, and they call themselves the Crowd Control. But they knew they needed to widen the alliance a little bit more. So they wanted to create a 5-person alliance with their 3-person alliance, which makes the 8-person alliance. And so they went from the Crowd Control 3 to the Handful 5, which turned into the Family Style of 8.
And so, to clarify for our audio listeners, the Handful.
Go ahead.
The Handful is Riley, Jag, Blue, Matt, and Cameron. And then Family Style is Riley, Jag, Blue, Matt, Cameron, Corey, America, and Jared.
Right. So that made the whole 8, the Family Style of 8. Now, this is where some problems lie in this creation of this alliance. Because once they made the Handful, they were good with the Handful, those 3 and those 2 of Matt and Cameron. They were like, oh, this is great. We're good. We need to pull in some more, though, to make a majority alliance to make sure we can get people out. And when they pulled in Corey, America, and Blue, and Jared, Corey, America, and Jared, Corey and Jared were like, we just got pulled into an alliance where the name was already created. And we feel like the last additions of an already made alliance.
Because you are.
And they know it. So Corey and Jared formed their own little thing. Was like, we look out for each other. And because Corey is such this huge fan of Cirie, not knowing that Jared is Cirie's son, he's telling Jared all of this stuff about Cirie. This conversation
my
was
favorite moment of feed so far, because Jared, and this is where I was like, no, Jared, you know what? I'm impressed with you, because he's just like, I never really got around to watching Survivor. Like, what's Cirie like? And Corey just goes on this full, like, fanboy experience about how incredible Cirie is. And Jared's like, oh, wow, yeah.
Corey's like, okay, let's do our enactment. I'll be Corey. You be Jared.
Okay, great.
Okay. So Cirie, she's so like, I don't know if you watched Survivor.
I never really got into it. I think I've heard of her, but like
she is like the top 10 players of Survivor history.
Oh.
But like she's like super loyal and she has all her alliances, like all her alliances make it to the end, but then she never wins because they cut her at the end because she can't win competitions at the end. And so I feel like if we get something with like Cirie and we get her to the final 3,
she's not gonna win.
Right. And we can cut her.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That is like because she's so loyal. Like she's a loyal alliance member, but she just can't.
Once we have her, and like we just need to work on that now.
And she can't win competitions in the end.
Yeah.
End scene.
I love it.
That was the conversation. I laughed so much at that conversation because Jared was like, I was like, I see you, Jared. You better play this off like you don't know how amazing your mama is. But so
Oh, and he is fully aware.
fully aware. So they have their little thing, and so they agreed to look out for each other, maybe try to pull in Sari and see if they can form something. Now, also in the middle of all of this, Cameron and Red have bonded over their country boy ways, and they
We
have
saw a
come
little
up.
bit of that in the episode too.
We did. So we saw them bonding over their country boy ways, and so they have decided they're gonna look out for each other as well. Great. Then you have America and Mimi, who also came together.
I love this duo.
I'm not mad at this duo.
I love this duo because I think Mimi is very quickly establishing herself as someone with a very, very good social game. I have not, in the 6 days, we've heard a lot of names already thrown out as targets, have not heard hers once.
Not as a target, as a pawn.
Exactly. And at this point in the game, that's kind of, if your name is going to be thrown out there, that's kind of where you want your name to be thrown out.
Yeah.
Is as that pawn, instead of everybody loves you. And I feel very much so the same way about where Felicia is currently.
Mhm.
It's just Felicia is a little bit more established in her alliances currently for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
But yeah, I also do love that Mimi has slowly become a little bit more connected with Corey.
Mhm.
That's interesting to me.
That's very interesting to me because Corey knows he needs to find someone who maybe not be huge in the power structure, but just in case something go down, if it comes between him and Mimi, he feels like he maybe can talk his way out of it. But what he does not realize is his persuasive background is exactly where Mimi lives. That's her job as well. Like, she is also a very persuasive talker, and she knows how to talk her way out of things. So I'm be interested to know. Like, I think they can have each other's back, and like they can keep they're both on different sides of the house, so they can hear things possibly that, like, hey, just look out for yourself. Don't worry about the rest of them. Look out for yourself. So I'm interested in seeing that. And another one that's forming because of the have-not situation is Luke
Yep.
and Jared. And Luke yesterday on the feeds found out some information that he was a target
Yep.
for some people on the other side of the house, and was like, for what? I've been, and not just a pawn, but they were looking at him as a target to send him out the door.
If the veto was used, which we'll talk about, it wasn't, but if the
Mhm.
veto was used, I think the main plan, at least from what I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lana, the main plan was to put Luke up.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. The main plan was to put up Luke, and
Send Luke
then
home.
side 2 was going to send Luke home. Side 1 still wanted to send Kirsten home.
Yeah.
Side 1 being the family style.
Oh, so it would have been Felicia off, because I was under the impression that they would have taken Kirsten off.
No, they wanted to take off Felicia.
Okay.
And keep
That would have
Kirsten
been fine
up.
with me.
I would have been fine with that, because take off Felicia, keep up Kirsten, and make Kirsten feel one side needs to pull Kirsten's side, like, we got you and we got the numbers to keep you.
That's where the brown sugar babes. We'll talk
Right,
about it very shortly.
and that's what side 2 comes in. That's what side 2 would have happened, and it would have been amazing. Let's jump to side 2 because we talked about side 1. Side 2 happens, and we have the bye bye bitches, which is the 5 of Bowie, Jane, Felicia, Sari, Izzy, and Mimi.
A women's alliance.
A women's alliance.
I'm so happy
that Riley didn't want a part of. So,
and it seems so real.
Yeah, genuine, very genuine. And so
excited.
Those are the 5, and they're the bye bye bitches. But the core 4 excluding Nicole,
Miko,
because
yeah.
the core four is Izzy, Cerie, Felicia, and Bowie Jane, which I'm
If
still
you
not mad at.
if you had told me to like fan cast an alliance,
Mm-hmm.
I think it honestly would have been the four of them.
Mm.
Plus probably Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
Like that feels fan casting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited.
Yeah. So then the five also broke into their parts of a seven, and they call themselves the professors because, as they say, they want to teach that other side a lesson. They go take these kids to school, and that includes the five plus Hyson and Red,
Which I love even more.
which I'm not mad at, with Jared as their silent eight, because Jared is always going to pick the side of Cerie. Period, point blank, bottom line. And
Absolutely.
even though he's in this family style alliance, he is definitely the mole and
Yeah.
getting all the information, reporting it back to Cerie. Cerie reports it to the professors.
Yeah.
Which great. And then of
And then
course we have
the
the Pinky Promise trio, which we saw on the episode with Cherie, Jared, and Izzy.
the Fields family and their adopted daughter, Izzy.
Here, Izzy. And yeah, this alliance and it's so weird because even up until right before we got on to do this recording, Cameron has now decided he wants to distance himself from the family style and probably go more in the middle with Red. And he is saying he wants to break up both sides of the house. He doesn't want to split house. He wants both sides of the house to be imploding. And then him and Red sit in the middle watching the implosion happen. The problem with that is if Jared finds out from the family style that Cameron is moving and going to Red, giving information, Red goes tell the professor, Jared is going to be there like, don't trust that.
Yeah.
So right now, Jared is in like a good but precarious spot.
He is balancing on glass at the
Yeah.
moment. Like
If
it's
he
really
gets
dangerous.
caught in anything, like he does not need to win a veto. He does not need to win
He
an
does not need
HOH
to win a damn thing until like jury.
jury.
Don't win.
Don't win anything because you don't need to win anything. Let the other people, because everybody feels so good about you.
Yeah.
He does not need to show his cards to anybody. And if anybody
He's
else,
literally aligned with everyone in the house.
everybody.
I guess I didn't realize how good of a position he was in. Jesus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Everybody. I
mean,
think the
I'm
only
very,
person
very
he's
happy
not
with
in
that.
a group. He's in line with everybody. Never
Except
mind.
for Kirsten, but she's
She has
going.
no alliance.
She's going
She's
home.
going
So,
home. Like I said, unless something happens that Big Brother does, unless a twist happens, Kirsten is going home and it's going to be a unanimous vote.
Yeah. The other thing I will say, there's one other one that isn't a confirmed like alliance yet, but I would put it under the kind of the same lines as like American Mimi, kind of American Mimi. And that is a couple of conversations that have been happening between Jag and Hisam.
Mm-hmm.
I would honestly, if I were to make an interjection into this alliance chart, it would be the two of them because they've had a couple of like very short conversations about how they really don't want this game to be brown man versus brown man, and they are quickly realizing that they are on opposite sides of the house but want to look after each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the one other one that I would add in there, and I like that duo a lot, honestly.
I'm not mad at that duo. I'm not mad at that duo. Also, we have to insert in the Brown Sugar Babes because we didn't talk about them, because that is Cerie, Felicia, Mimi, and Jared. It would have been Kirsten, but
and by some miracle, if Kirsten is still in the house and so is Felicia,
maybe maybe she can. But Jared don't trust her, and Sari don't trust her, and Felicia don't trust her. So I don't know. Maybe.
And Mimi, I believe, is ambivalent.
Mimi likes Kirsten, but she's like, I can't attach my. I think that was the only thing that made Mimi even come up as a pawn because people felt like she was attached to Kirsten.
Yeah.
But because they got attached because they were Black women, they both were like very excited about the hair care products they got this week because they were able to get them a flat iron and a hot comb, and they were like,
Thank
"Thank
you, Big Brother.
you, Big Brother,"
Thank you, Big
because
Brother.
they were like, "We need a hot comb."
Lana, it seems like production might have learned. Maybe
They asked Mimi and Kirsten went into the diary room and said, "We need a hot comb."
They
So
still could have said no.
They could have said no, but
they
why would
didn't.
you say no? Why would you say no to a hot
Racism.
comb?
Racism.
Like
So
you want?
I'm very happy that I'm very.
I'd be
happy.
like, and my response is like, you want us to have a good television show where we look our best on live eviction nights, right? I need a hot comb. But yeah, but they got him a hot comb, and so that's great, and a good flat iron, not the white people flat iron. We need a little stronger hot comb.
Understood.
Flat iron. So they gave them the gold flat irons, which is what we need for our hair. So I think that's what they feel like, that they were close and attached at the hip because they were bonding over hair care and being Black women and blah blah blah. So they were already attached. So I think that's the only reason why Mimi's name even came up as a pawn, because
I think so.
Actually she really hadn't done anything to put herself on the radar of anybody. If you're not looking. And I think some people were looking.
I think Mimi is in a great spot right now.
Mm-hmm. She's in a good spot. I'll say good. I won't say great. I'll say good.
Okay. Because I mean, she's in with a lot of people, but I do feel like if Family Style wins the next HOH, they could potentially use Mimi as a pawn. I think she could become a perpetual pawn for that side of the house. And similarly, I feel like America could end up that same way for the professors. Like, I think those are the two, maybe even Blue, and maybe even not Corey anymore.
Okay. So this is the thing. What we've heard on live feeds from the professor's side, and this is the plans for next week. And Family Style also has a plan for next week. But from the professor's point of view, they said that if somebody from their side wins HOH, a combination of Riley, Jag, or Blue are going to go up.
Oh.
And then if one of them comes down, Cameron.
Oh, so are they trying to backdoor Cameron, or
they're trying to backdoor Cameron?
Great, perfect, love it, wonderful. 10 out of
10. I'm here for it. They're trying to backdoor Cameron, and see what happens. But if somebody from the other side wins, they're going to try to push that they put up Luke with somebody else from their side. And if Luke is up with somebody from the professor's side, then they'll vote out Luke.
Sure.
And I'm like, although Luke has not done anything.
Yeah. I do have a question for you, Lana.
Yes.
Do you think Luke's a twin?
Everybody keeps saying it.
I love the conspiracy theories that come out amongst the live community. It's like, do you think Luke? You didn't answer the question. Do you think Luke is a twin?
I don't think Luke is a twin. I don't think they're doing the twin twist.
I think he's just a goofball.
Yeah.
Because I also definitely have those moments where, like, one second I'm like very, very serious, the next second I'm just like laughing my ass off. And I will say, I think a lot of that for me is because I'm neurodivergent. I'm not going to say that about Luke. I don't know that to be true, but I know at least for me, that's how, like, that's why like I'm like a little bit more all over the place just because of my specific kind of neurodivergence. So I understand why he's kind of like all these kinds of characters at once. Again, not assuming anything about him. I like him from what I've seen so far.
You're right. I haven't seen much.
The only people, honestly, that I'm truly disliking at this point, having seen feeds, are Cameron and to a large extent Riley.
Yeah. We have to talk about the Riley of it all, though, at some point, because the Riley
Yeah,
of it all,
it's the right time. Go for it, Lana.
she is an interesting person because she wanted this HOH. She fought hard for the HOH. She wanted HOH. Now that she has the HOH, she doesn't want it anymore because she is like, people are grilling me and I can't come up with lies and things to say to these people about what I'm doing, and they're grilling me, and it's just so hard, and oh my god, it's so bad. I can't, like, do you understand why I feel like this? I mean, because I feel so bad. Like, you understand, right? It's so bad. Like, oh my god, I gotta get out of this room. I just want to get out of this room. But I have everybody under my control because you all will burn this house down if they come after me next week, right? We're gonna take it because this is so hard. Oh my god, this is the hardest thing, and I can't come up with stories. Like, you understand, right, guys? Like, you know why I feel this way. And Cameron, how dare he tell me to relax? Like, I hate when men do that and tell me to relax and calm down. Like, he doesn't understand why I feel this way because he's so complacent. There's no room in this game for complacency. There's no room in this game for complacency. And Cameron's so complacent and he's telling me to calm down. You understand, right, guys? You understand.
What? Yeah. Of course, Riley. Yeah.
You understand. This is so hard.
Yeah. You were
I
on it today with your reenactment skills. I'm very impressed.
thank you.
I'm
Thank
incredibly
you.
impressed, you
Thank
know.
you. Thank you. I mean, I could not, like, I wanted to turn off the feeds for that, but I knew I needed to watch it just so I could see what she was talking about. But it was so
Delicious.
cringe. It was so cringe. And I'm like, girl, what do you mean people are asking you questions? You're the HOH. You have, like, you had this conversation with Kirsten. Kirsten was asking her about the veto and if she could help her convince Heisem to use the veto. And Kirsten's like, I mean, girl, no, you just go fight. You have to fight, and you should talk to him and see what he says. And you have don't give up, girl. No, no, don't you dare give up. You fight and do what you have to do. And Kirsten's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm fighting. I'm coming to you as the HOH to ask for help to help me in this fight. Well, I it's above me now. I don't have anything to do. You just have to go to Heisem because it's Heisem's decision. She's like, I know it's Heisem's decision,
Oh,
but
yeah. Heisem won the veto, by the way. We didn't bring it up.
we did not. Sorry. It's Heisem.
Yay!
Good for
Work
Heisem.
day.
Good for Heisem.
There you
Great for Heisem. But
Anyway,
she's like,
back.
thank you. You have
I
to go
didn't
to
realize in that
Heisem.
moment. I was like, oh, we never.
Never mentioned it. Sorry. Sorry.
Hi, if you're looking for real good tangent podcasting about Big Brother, this is the place to be.
Period.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. So she's like, you have to go to Heisem. You should talk to him, definitely. And Kristen's like, I know, and I'm going to do that. But I need to know from you as the HOH if you would help me, if you can convince Heisem to use it because you're the HOH. And he would probably be like, hey, I'll listen to, we can work together and listen to what the HOH wants.
Like,
HOHs and the veto winners usually work together, And so she's like, well, it's Heisem's decision. I really don't have anything to do with it. So it is what it is. It's just that. So Kirsten is like, fine.
yeah.
Okay. So she goes to Heisem and is like, hey, I would love for you to use this veto, blah blah blah. And he's like, I haven't talked to Riley. I would like to know what she wants and how she wants it to be used and see if we can come up with something. And Kirsten's like, well, she just literally told me it's your decision. You are making the final call. She has nothing to do with it. And Heisman's like, what? What? We haven't even talked yet.
Yeah. I know it's only been 6 days, but I honestly already feel like Riley is the kind of person that like is a much better fan of Big Brother than she is going to be a Big Brother player.
Oh, for sure.
And we see that a lot. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And
I think that's me.
And as a super fan, like I'm very excited that she's getting to live out the dream of being the first HOH, winning on not on her birthday, it was the day after.
But she won her heat on her birthday, so she was not nominated on her birthday.
Did she win?
Yeah, she didn't lose.
No, she was in the holding on competition.
I know she didn't lose, so she was not nominated on her birthday.
Oh, true. Well then in that case, Luke and Brett also won. But
by
that logic. Anyway. Yeah, so all that to say the noms haven't changed.
No, because Heisman did not change them because and here's the reasons why. Because Izzy had decided and put it in her head for some reason that if the veto was used, they were going to backdoor Cirie. She put that in her head, and then she put it in Cirie's head. And she decided that that's what Riley said. Riley never had any intentions of putting Cirie on the block. Never once. Because she liked Cirie. And Cirie went in and did what Cirie does and made Riley feel like Cirie would do anything she told her to do. And so Riley had put Cirie in a block of, I have her in my back pocket, so I don't need to get rid of Cirie right now. There's no point of getting rid of Cirie. But Izzy has decided that Cirie was in danger. And so she spread that. And so Heisman was like, well, we can't put Cirie in danger. And it got to the point where Red was like, wait, I don't want Cirie to be in danger. That's crazy. Yeah. We don't need that, so we won't use it. And Felicia, you're okay because it's going to be unanimous vote. Felicia's
you're gonna stay in the largest unanimous vote in Big Brother history. Like you're fine.
You're fine. So Felicia has really nothing she's concerned about, and it's like, but that was never the case because the truth of the matter is, if Felicia was to come down, they were gonna put up Luke. And then they could have had Luke. And possibly send home Luke.
Because that would have been, if I'm looking at the sides alone, there's 8. We're done. Like the professors and the silent eighth would have probably all just voted to keep Kirsten and pulled her in.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Pull her in to an extent.
Right. And here's the thing. America, Jag, and Blue went to Riley and was like, you should give Heisman to use the veto to take Kirsten off the block and put up Luke, send him home. We'll have Kirsten's loyalty. And Riley was like, no. Because I don't. No.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. No, because I would be the next.
HOH, even though it's very difficult to be the HOH right now. It's so difficult.
But why don't next week we backdoor Izzy?
I think that sounds like a great idea.
But then they said, but you can do that this week. If you backdoor Izzy, if we take down Kirsten and you put up Izzy, you can backdoor her. No.
No.
It's so.
No.
And here's the
Because
thing.
I'm not going to tell you this, but I don't want to do that myself. I want to have one of you do that for me.
And I don't want to do that because I like Matt, and Matt seems to like Kirsten, and I want her gone so Matt doesn't look at Kirsten anymore. Another fact that has shown to be more true because Matt spent 2.5 hours in the bathroom last night talking to Kirsten.
Yep.
After spending 2 hours plus maybe upstairs in the H room talking to Riley, and all she did the entire time, because first of all, she was mad at Matt because he didn't come talk to her earlier that day. Why didn't you come hang out with me? Why didn't I said, baby, it's day 5, 4, 5.
At that point, it was 5.
It was 5.
Finally
And
started.
it was day 5. And you already giving this man grief about not hanging out with you. This ain't gonna work.
No.
If I was mad, I'd run for the hills. But she's mad at Matt because Matt didn't come hang out with her. And then when he did come hang out with her, all she did was cry and talk about how hard this is for me. And this is the worst thing for me. And I am so sad. You understand, Matt, right? You understand. You never, and then you would talk away with your head turned to Matt. So he can't read your lips. And he has to ask, what'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? I'm like, you know, this man can't hear you. And you're doing all of this dramatics and stuff and not, but you want him to hang out with you, but you're not focused on trying to talk to him and look him in his face and speak where he can read your lips and understand what you're saying. But it's all about me. I'm so sad and I'm horrible. Matt leaves the HOH room, goes downstairs where Kristen happens to be doing her hair, and they talk for hours and hours. He's been trying to shower. He wants to shower, but they end up talking, and they talk for hours and hours. We find out more about Matt in this conversation than any other conversation besides the conversation he had with Hytham and Sari, and even Jared. Like, Jared is the only person in the house right now who actively looks at Matt to make sure Matt can read his lips and talk to him. Everybody else is struggling with that whole thing. Everybody is struggling, and it's like, I get it because it's not something that we normally do in our normal life, is to try to focus on, if you're not around someone who's deaf all the time, you're not like, let me make sure you can hear me. You just start talking because that's what we do. But I think all of them need to be more conscious, especially when they're in group settings. That man can't read 17 miles at one time.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and he's just like, he's struggling. He said he was really having a hard time in the first 2 or 3 days. And he said he went to bed one night with just this knot in his stomach because he felt like he was not going to be able to do this. Like, this was something that his disability was going to win. He was like, I never want my disability to win in anything that I'm trying to do. I want to succeed. And I feel like this time I might have been over my head because I'm really having a hard time. But I think now he's getting to the point, and I think more people are now like trying more to include him in the conversations. He's opening himself up to have more one-on-one conversations with people because he was like, this is the best way for me to get to know people. Now I will say for now, I think he's solidly in the handful and solidly in the family style group.
Yeah.
But I feel like he is someone, if Riley continues to get on his nerves, I think he'd be like, all right.
Yeah. I think he's the most transient member of the family style for me.
Yeah. Besides Jared, because we know Jared is
obviously.
But I think he is somebody who will be like more observant and like talking to people. And the more he talks to the other side, the more he might want to lean that way. He's going to be the most adaptive. I feel like he's going to be the
Sure.
person when he feels like the ship is sinking on one side, he will quickly jump ship to the next side.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, I think it has a lot to do with Kirsten having blinders on, not Kirsten, Riley having blinders on for Kirsten, and the mat of it all doesn't help. The fact that I kind of think she might be a little. Her music choices kind of give me a little, and then
Her
her.
music choice is concerning. I'll just say it. But anyway. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that
Yeah.
was. I think
That's most of it.
that's most of it. We got all up until just right now. Well, before we got on the air, so I think we got it for the most part. If there is anything that we're missing, feel free to comment below and tell us what we missed. Give us all the tea. If you have tea, feel free to hit us up in our DMs.
As of 22 minutes ago, we have another side alliance.
Oh no.
As of 22 minutes ago, we have a side alliance with Corey, Sari, and Izzy.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Also, I would like to end this podcast today with the only way I see fitting when we're not talking about the insightful and beautiful quotes from one Julie Chen Moonves. And so I would like to end this podcast today with a redism. Lana, I assume you probably are okay with that, because he's just entertaining. But yes, thank you for joining us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the Cup Pod for all the most up-to-date Cup news and funny moments, because we are some funny bitches. Make sure to follow Lana and I both on Twitter, because all we're doing right now is talking about Big Brother, really. So go do that. Make sure to subscribe to our main channel, The Cup Pod, for all of our drag content. And Big Brother will be staying right over here, so make sure to subscribe here as well. Hit all the buttons on your preferred video or audio platform that let us know that you support us. And in the words of Red, treat them like a mushroom, keep them in the dark, and full of shit. Cheers to you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now.
You could have held on for like 2 more seconds. Bye now.
Goodbye. I didn't know when you were coming back. Goodbye.
I'm coming right back. You know that.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye now.
Regardless.
Bye.